Broadcasting from the depths of outer space.
Hello, I'm alive. I don't know what's going on.
By your command. Fascinating.
God damn you all to hell!
It's the Solar Sci-Fi Podcast. Merry Christmas. This is the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast with a very special festive show with the Encyclopedia of Knowledge. As usual, my co-host, Martin Fowler. Hello, Martin. How are you?
I'm feeling good. I'm just shouting and bawling at technology.
Well, that's it. You've got to do that to make it... Well, it doesn't always work, but you can shout at it. It might make you feel better, at least. How's things in your end? Because obviously... we're recording this on a Wednesday, and of course it's all building up for the new Star Wars, which is just a couple of days away. It actually, from the time of recording, is in Portsmouth. A lot of the cinemas are opening at 1 minute past 12, which technically is Thursday morning, so you can watch Star Wars literally from this recording point in just over 5 hours' time.
Yes, I know. I've actually been invited to go tonight.
Oh, you're not going to go?
I don't want to get in at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, well, that's true, yeah. And it's also, I mean, for me, it's a work day as well. So
yeah.
I would love to, but I'm going on Saturday morning, which is...
Are you going Saturday? I'm going tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm going to go Saturday morning because the whole family are going, so we're all going to go together. So we've already booked the tickets. We're ready to go. Thunderbirds a go, and it should be good. So I can't wait to see that. I have heard some early reviews. It's mixed. Some people like it, some people loathe it. But of course, in the end, it's down to the individual, isn't it? In the end, we all like, even if we like the same genres, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to like the same thing.
I don't. So I've seen the reviews on YouTube. No spoilers, but I've seen the reviews. I'm going to go see it myself.
Right.
I mean, I like reviews. I ain't got time for reviewers that get paid lots of money because 90% of the time they're wrong. But I like to hear it from normal people.
Yeah, me too.
It's a mixed bag of the reviews.
Well, let's go into the Solar Sci-Fi news, and then we'll all continue this
Yeah.
conversation. So here we go with the jingle.
Working.
Solar Sci-Fi
News.
All right, so continuing on what you're saying, I agree with you personally. Now, you've heard of the site Rotten Tomatoes or Tomatoes.
Yes, don't go with them.
Now, that's what I'm about to say, because I tend to stay away from that thing, because a lot of shows have had audience reviews of, say, 98% and critical reviews of, say, 2%. So such a huge difference in opinion that I really personally, I think that I would rather listen to reviews from people, i.e. Joe Average, who've gone to see something and have their opinion, rather than media reviewers who seem to have some very odd ideas and opinions about things which don't necessarily fit as to how I'd feel. The great example, of course, is The Last Jedi, which I know you really didn't like. And a lot of reviewers actually sung that film's praises. And a lot of people like us were pretty negative about it. So in the end, as you say, it's about who you hear from your friends rather than proper reviews, I think.
There's an interesting thing. Don't you remember when Last Jedi out? There was a bit of scandal with Rotten Tomatoes, wasn't there?
Oh, was there?
That Disney did. Well, I don't know if it's fair. I don't want to get sued. But
well, just say what you've heard. It's not your own opinion. This is what you've heard.
Well, Disney. Certain people have been paid to up the reviews and stuff. You know when they have the previews,
Right.
Before we get to see it, there were certain people that had been offered perks and things, and there was a lot of people weren't so happy about it.
Right.
The Last Jedi, but that's what I read. So,
I mean, going on with Star Wars, of course, The Mandalorian has been a huge critical or reviewing success. It's actually got very, very high reviews and positive feedback from a lot of people, including me. But I think with that show, it seems to have been positive reviews as well as people reviews, i.e. it's not just critical reviews. The public are saying, yes, this show is cool. So it's always hard to tell.
Yeah. I mean, The Mandalorian, it's It's Star Wars. I mean, how can a half-an-hour TV programme every week be better than a film?
No.
Do you know what I mean? It's when I watch Mandalorian, it takes me back to Star Wars.
The Mandalorian's going to be binge-watched. Forget the half an hour. I mean, some episodes are 40 minutes. I mean, the one last week was 40 minutes. The one today was about 36.
Really?
Yeah, they do fluctuate. But I think really what you've got to do with the Mandalorian is literally just put them all together. And then it's about, 4.5 hours altogether or something for the series?
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm not watching it until the final episode now.
Yeah, well, I've just seen the penultimate and it was very good. And I sent you a screen grab. It's a slight spoiler, but
Yes.
I think it was worth sending you that just to whet your appetite. Let's put it that way.
Oh, they're naughty in that empire, aren't they?
I know, it's very interesting what's going on. I mean, when we've done this, we've got to do a special in the new year just on the Mandalorian, of the whole thing, once you've seen it. And it will be spoiler filled, but I think we've just got to have our proper opinions about it. That's going to be an awesome show. I can't wait to do that in the new year.
Apparently Disney's looking at doing Palpatine.
Yes, Palpatine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh no, I didn't hear that. I heard that Darth Maul is going to be back in some capacity.
Yeah, they're looking at doing Palpatine's life.
Are they going to get Ian McDermott to come back?
No, it'd be younger.
Oh, it's younger days.
Have you read the book Darth Plagueis?
No, I mean I'm aware of Darth Plagueis from episode 3, where he was the one that Palpatine killed, wasn't he? I think it was.
Yeah, he was his master.
That's right. And he killed him in his sleep or something.
He found. I mean, if you're going to Palpatine's bio, the guy is terrifying.
Oh yeah. I mean,
even his own Sith master was scared of him.
I actually think that one of the backbones of Star Wars aren't the Skywalkers at all. I think it's based on Palpatine. It's just such a strong character.
What an amazing villain.
And Ian McDermott was so good. I mean, I cannot wait to see him on Saturday. See what he does in this new role. Like I said, I know you know some spoilers, whatever, but he just can't wait to see him, or whatever he does. It must be great.
What a villain. He played everybody off and used everybody.
Yeah.
And to do what he did. And even now, 30 years on, somehow he survived and he's back.
And also, when you look at Ian McDermott in his recent, he doesn't look any different than he did when he was doing the last what's it called, Revenge of the Sith in 2005. Yeah. He looks exactly the same, and I can't wait to see what they do with his character.
When he was growing up, his father was a respected senator on Naboo, and his father detested him.
Right.
And he murdered his entire family because he realised his father bought him a speeder bike for his birthday.
Oh, okay.
And he went out, he was about 15, he went out just driving into people, killing them. They had to cover it up.
Right.
It's what you're dealing with. And then it came out with Plagueis were terrified of him because he had the mentality of a serial killer.
Yeah.
He's pure. I mean, even the Sith Lord that trained him was like, he thought it was the shadow of darkness, you know.
Yeah.
The book is, but I do recommend the book.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try. I don't tend to read a lot of books, but I mean, when I have read stuff, it is often really good and gives a new kind of feel to long-standing proper films. It's sort of good accompaniment.
If you don't want to read the book, the audio story is on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Maybe you can send me a link.
I'll send you the link.
Thank you.
This.
I appreciate it. That'd be cool. Check that out. That'd be good. So, yeah, Star Wars fever's building up. Looks like it's going to be a good film. I can't wait. And like I said, in the new year, we'll have a show on the new film as well. We better sort of cover other news stories. Apparently last week, you might have heard about this, with all the big shows coming back in recent years with Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever. One show which we've mentioned before, which is just not getting done, is of course Stargate. And apparently last week there was a big push on Twitter to actually revive the show, and it was something called #WeWantStargate. And apparently it was, they checked the viral of how big hashtags were. At one point on Friday, it was the biggest hashtag in America, in Canada, and in Australia or something. It was really big. And they're trying to get the MGM makers' attention to say, look, there's still a huge fan base out here. Get a new show made, And I don't know what's going on. I know we talked about this recently, but, I'm hoping that, and also a lot of the actors involved as well will also joining in with this hashtag. So, I mean, do you think they might do any good, or do you think MGM are just going to just stick their head in the sand and just let it just sit there and not be used when it could be?
I don't understand the executives at MGM. They're sat on $1 billion franchise.
Yeah.
And I'm such a Stargate fan. I think it's one of the...
I think it's one of the best series I've ever seen. It's definitely in my top 5 shows ever.
It never ends. You can just go on and on with it.
I know. And it's just crazy.
You know, I mean, you get a new team and Stargate commands you up a bit. We've got a space fleet now. The political fallout of the world finding out about the Stargate brings the world together. They've got colonies, new baddies coming in, old baddies. Why not? I mean, it just never ends. And not only that, they were going to other galaxies as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was all... I mean, you can imagine... Like I said, we talked about this, I think, last week, where they were going to make a fourth... or a third TV movie where the Stargate was revealed to the public.
Yes,
and of course it's never been done. So, I mean, like I said, it's something we're always going to be. We will have to do a proper show featuring Stargate soon as well.
Oh, definitely.
We'll do, like I said, separate shows: one for SG-1, one for Atlantis, and one for Discovery. Not Discovery. Universe as well.
It won't be made for normal television. It's something like Amazon or Netflix.
Yeah, they could do it. They could do it. I'm sure. I mean, you know, sci-fi is big again. Well, it's been big for a long time, but there's definitely a market for it. So hopefully, with The Mandalorian being the biggest success, I think it's been more of a success than the people at Disney thought it would be. And it's not even been shown in the UK properly yet. So it's in, you know, a lot of people are talking about Baby Yoda and stuff. So I think that Star Wars... Well, let's sort of get it into context. Mandalorian has been a big success. The new Star Wars film, I think it's going to be huge. It's got to be huge. And so with that, who knows what they'll do next for Star Wars? I mean, it's very exciting times.
I have to ask, well, The Expanse, what did you think?
Well, I've seen up to about the second or third last episode of the first season. I liked it. I thought it was very good. I thought that the only thing was, because it's a whole new universe, you've got to get used to the fact that there seems to be, at the moment, 3 elements, which are Earth, then there's the Martians people, and then there's the people at the belt. And there seems to be these 3 factors. And of course, it's all kind of coming together. I think it's very good, but I think it's definitely going to be a show where I'm going to need to watch it all again. So then when I pick it up the second time, I'll realise what elements are interacting with where it goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm very envious of you, because when you get to season 3, your jaws is going to drop.
Well, okay. Well, I already, like I said,
that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, that's fine, and we'll do an Expanse show as well. But yeah, I do like it a lot. I can see why you like it. I like it. It's a very good production, and at the moment there seems to be these 2 separate elements of the main crew on a ship. But there's also this detective guy who's trying to track down this woman, and all sorts of things with him. And of course, the elements are there. But yeah, it's very good. It's a very good show. Yeah. I like it. So thank you for that. I'm glad to check it out. And it's, of course, Series 4 has only just been released. So, yeah, I'll certainly give a proper opinion about that one.
Next week on, it's 24th, with Lost in Space.
I know, I love Lost in Space. I only saw that recently, and that's going to be good as well. That's not one episode a week, that's going to be the whole lot sort of stringed together. So, that looks really good. I can't wait for that. There's a lot next year to look forward to, actually. We've got the new Ghostbusters film.
Yeah.
We've got the new Bill and Ted film.
Yeah, I saw the pictures of that
Face
today.
the Music. I just saw, actually, that's what made me say it. There's something called Bill and Ted Face the Music, but I've not seen much about it. But that looks interesting.
He's on a high, Keanu Reeves.
And he's apparently coming back with The Matrix 4. So I can't wait. I've not seen him. What's that series? He's in that series where he plays a character. I think he's done 3 films. I don't know what it's called, though.
I've not seen it. I know my friend's seen it. John Wick.
That's it. I was going to ask if you'd seen it. I've not seen that either.
I've not seen it. I've got John Wick 1 and number 2's on Netflix. So
okay.
I've got 2 weeks off now, so.
Oh, me nearly as well. I mean, I'm going to have a quiet 2 weeks. No offense to you, but I need a break from editing and mixing and everything else. I love doing it. Don't get me wrong. And I think this has already proved to be a really success for me. But after finishing off the old podcast over the last year as well, I need a couple of weeks off to recharge the old batteries.
Oh, that's you. Take the time you need, mate.
Yeah. But like I said, back in January, we're back on, mate. We're going to we're going to do lots of shows, and also I've got to say we've got some things. Although we've only done 4 shows, I'm sorry, you're going to have to forgive me for this one, but I've started the new bloopers archive. I always do it on my so every show when I go through them for editing, if there's anything funny, anything awkward, anything silly, or mistakes or Skype failures, I add it to my compilation.
Oh God, I bet you've got me swearing.
A little bit.
The bloody computer's not working.
It's only I've just looked at it. It's only 2.5 minutes already. Yeah, we'll play that in a while. We'll play that a bit later. We'll play that near the end as a sort of Christmas treat. But Brilliant. What we'll do is, on my old podcast, I did 8.5 hours long of bloopers.
Yeah, I've listened to some.
God!
The flip side, I've listened to quite a few of them.
Oh, good. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoed doing it.
I did.
It was good fun. I learned a lot doing it.
With the retro TV series like Candid Camera and stuff.
Oh yeah, you meant on my channel? Yeah, Candid Camera Classics.
Yeah.
With that, I managed to get all the tapes from 1985, and I've transferred them. Yeah.
Wow.
They only released 5 tapes in 1985. I managed to get all of them off Amazon, and of course, I managed to transfer them onto digital format. And I love them. I love the. And I actually, there's a guy. This is slightly off sci-fi, but very brief, very quickly. I actually, Arthur Atkins, who was one of the guys on that show, he actually got in contact with me, and I actually talked to him on the phone. And we were talking about actually recording something. So we could actually upload the audio like we do here onto YouTube, but unfortunately soon after he passed away. So I had some great stories from him, and it was really good to actually speak to somebody involved in such a great comedy series from the 70s. So thank you for that. I'm glad you liked checking them out. It's good fun.
Just before we get off Candid Camera, the one thing I remember about that is that person walking down the street, and there's like a crowd of fans and a media crew.
That's it. It's one of the queues. Like there's one person behind, then there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then there's about 30 people, and every time it goes, it's classic. And I also love the one where the guy he thinks he's eating a goldfish in the laundrette, and he put his hand in a fish tank, and what he's got a sliced bit of carrot in his hand, but when he put his hand in and he picks it out and puts it in his mouth very quickly, it looks like a goldfish, and this poor lady goes, "Oh, you horrible man." I love old shows like that. I love wine. I like Beatles About and all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, if ever you want to borrow any of that stuff, I've got a good archive of that sort of stuff. That's my humour. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So, anything else in the news in sci-fi format or the front that you've come across that you want to share with us?
Well, not really. I think we've covered a lot. I mean, we've got Picard next year.
Yeah.
We've got Discovery coming. 3 Marvel movies.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 DC movies.
Well, this is, like I said, this is stuff I need to get into because I'm not into it. But I mean, that's obviously a factor as well. We've got the Orville coming back.
Yes, normally you watch it at this time of year.
Because it came out. I think it was about this. Actually, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But it's put back to I think it's autumn next year.
Oh, that far back?
I think so. I think it's quite a long time back. They're making 10 episodes, which are slightly, I think, hour-long episodes rather than 45-minute episodes.
Right.
But it's, apparently it's going to take a while to do it. But they want to, I think they want to do more in the way of special effects and make it a slightly higher kind of profile show next time.
I just think that when they hold stuff back like this for a long time, people start losing interest.
I think a good example of that is Doctor Who, when they keep having these year gaps. It's been a year since the last episode, so you got to gain momentum.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
And if you take too long a break, then people sort of move on and forget about it. When it comes back on, they sort of don't focus on it because it's too long for it to stick in their mind.
And season 2, I mean, that was last year now. So, and if it's not until next autumn, that's a long time.
Yeah, but it might change it, but that's what I've heard. There's a guy on YouTube who's a big, it's like the unofficial Orville. I can't remember his name.
Oh, I've seen him, yeah.
The guy with glasses and the hat. I can't remember his name.
The baseball hat, yeah.
Yeah, he's quite good. I mean, it's slightly annoying because he gives, and I told you about it. He always says it's slightly grating, but it's a good source of info. So, I mean, I check him out, and I also check out Trek Yards, who are quite good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of them. I've met them.
Have you met them? I don't met them.
Yeah, I sent in a request. They did the Liberator. I sent them. I said, "Can you do the Liberator?"
All right.
From Blaze did it. Yeah, they got back to me and said, "We've done it." Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! I mean, they have replied to me a few times on Twitter as well, on Facebook. Also, sometimes on their live streams that they do reply to you. So, but they call me.
Yes.
People can't read my YouTube is called Coclud, right? It's a name.
Yes.
It's a name I made up. But a lot of people can't read. They say Coclud and stuff, and it's like, no, that sounds like something completely different. It's nothing to do with that. No,
okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's interesting. But there we go. So hopefully we've got plenty to look forward to next year. So I think that's pretty much it for news today. Did you want to go into? Do you want to do the old Predator topic next, or do you want to go into the Christmas segment? What do you want to go into next?
What have you got on the list for Christmas?
Okay,
stuff?
for Christmas, I was looking for Star Trek references, and I can only remember 3. Let's go into the jingle. Let's go into the Christmas topic next. Here we go.
It's the
Solar Sci-Fi Focus
of the week.
All right, so this is a Christmas festive episode. So we want to talk about science fiction and Christmas and whether they go together. So what I was about to say is, yes, Star Trek has featured 3 times that I can remember featuring Christmas. The first of the ones was an episode in the original series rather, where Captain Kirk, there's a machine called a neuralizer, where it kind of this person's taking control of people, and it spins people around and makes duplicates.
Oh, the robot machine.
Yeah, but there's a scene where there's a flashback, and Captain Kirk's Lady of the Week it has a sort of dream, not a dream sequence. It was a flashback to when they were coming back from a Christmas party, and he was saying things like "Merry Christmas." That's it. That's all he said. But it was a Christmas party on the Enterprise, so that was that. The second time I remember Christmas being referenced was in Star Trek Generations, where Picard goes into the Nexus, and he ends up at Christmas with his made-believe family. He's got a son, he's got a wife, and the son comes up and says, "Merry Christmas, Papa." And you see
John Luke Jr.
That's right, and you see like a Christmas tree, but the Christmas tree doesn't look quite right. The actual the baubles aren't quite normal, and so Picard starts to suspect this can't be real. The third one was an episode with Q on Voyager, where Q ends up putting the Voyager at the end of a Christmas tree there or something.
It did, yeah.
That's the only 3 I can recall, and I'm pretty nerdy about Star Trek stuff. So, do you remember any other references of Christmas?
I don't think they covered Star Trek in DS9.
You mean Christmas in DS9?
Yeah.
No.
They might have done in Voyager.
Well, Voyager, like the episode with Q, where it was an episode. It was one where Q.
That's only one, isn't it?
It was Q2, I think it was. It was the second Q that wants to commit suicide, and Q tries to hide Voyager from the main Q, and then at one point he shrinks the Voyager to minute size, and then he puts it at the end of a Christmas tree or something, and then Q sort of looks and says, "You can't hide from me here," or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was that. But yeah, nothing on DS9, nothing in Enterprise, nothing in Discovery that I can recall. For other Christmas topics, there's one thing I found actually, and I thought I'd give this a play now. We talked about V last week, and that was that doesn't have an episode that features Christmas, and it has this little scene here. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go on.
Here we go. Turn it up a bit.
Deck the halls with lousy folly. La 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 la. This evening's funky Molly. La la la
La la la la la la.
Yeah, that's it.
We know how
Willie.
Yeah, it's Willie.
Yes.
Now he goes out of key.
Do you know what that sounds like? It sounds like somebody down a pub somewhere, really rough pub, and they're absolutely hammered. It sounds like that in some pub where you just won't go into, you know.
Yeah, he just told him to take a hike. He said, "Go, take a hike." There you go. That was the only thing I could find from Christmas on V. But the main show, which focuses on Christmas, is, of course, Doctor Who.
Yes, I'd say that is out of a lot of them, definitely.
And I was trying to think, I mean, they must have made about 10 Doctor Who Christmas episodes.
Which is your favourite one?
Well, 2 of them feature regenerations. Of course, David Tennant's The End of Time.
Tennant, yeah.
And then the last Peter Capaldi one.
Yes.
I like both of them a lot. I mean, regeneration episodes are always the most, some of the strongest episodes. But I thought, I don't know, The End of Time was very good, but I like Capaldi's last one.
I found some of the Christmas episodes I wasn't impressed with.
Oh, well, tell me what you like. Which ones do you like?
Matt Smith's character were like the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh, yeah, I saw that one, because the one
That
the
was
year
terrible.
before was the one which was like Scrooge or something.
Yeah,
And that was
but
good.
I loved the superhero one.
Oh, the comic book one, the guy...
Yeah, he just couldn't add, because I love Capaldi's Doctor.
I do too. I really warmed to Capaldi. I wasn't sure the first season. I had a bit of withdrawal from Matt Smith, but I actually think it's very good. Actually, I'm looking at Doctor Who references here. Now, it says that it did appear in the classic era. It says during the run of programs in 1689, special episodes were not frequent occurrence. During the third season, the 12-part series, The Daleks Master Plan, was broadcast weekly over the 65-66 Christmas period, and its 7th and 8th episodes scheduled for Christmas and New Year's Day respectively. The former title, The Feast of Stephen, was scripted as a comic interlude, style of a pantomime. I didn't see this episode. In the middle of the otherwise epic adventure, in its final scene, the Doctor and his companions celebrate Christmas with a toast. The Doctor turns to the camera and breaks the fourth wall by saying, "Instantly, happier Christmas to you all at home." Then so the following episode, Volcano returns to the main narrative of the Daleks Master Plan. So there we are. It was that was featured on the classic. The episodes from New Who were The Christmas Invasion, The Runaway Bride, Voyage of the Damned, The Next Doctor, The End of Time, A Christmas Carol, The Doctor, The Witch of the Wardrobe, which you mentioned, The Snowmen, The Time of the Doctor, Last Christmas, The Husbands of River Song, The Return of Dr. Mysterio, which is the one you just referred to, and Twice Upon a Time. So there's been 13 New Who episodes which feature Christmas.
Yeah, and we're not getting one this year.
Well, this is another thing. I don't know whether we will get any more Christmas episodes of Doctor Who, given that now it's featured on New Year's Day.
That's true. Have you said I'm going to go a bit retro now? Have you seen Bionic Christmas?
No, Bionic Christmas. No, not seen that.
$6 Million Man Christmas episode.
Oh, I've got some $6 Million Men.
It's terrible.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh yeah, it's that bad. Steve Austin dressed up as Santa Claus and he's jumping in through kids' windows giving them presents.
Oh.
Seriously, there's this orphanage and there's I think there's these property developers who want to bulldoze it.
Right.
And he dresses up as Santa Claus and he's bionically jumping into people's windows giving them Christmas presents. It's ridiculous. But it's got that. If you were a kid, again, you'd be like, wow. You know, it's just so cheesy. You know, but it's Christmas.
Oh dear. I mean, I'm a big fan of the 70s The Incredible Hulk series, and I'm trying to think whether there's an episode of that series. I don't think there was.
Are you really a big fan of that?
I loved it. I thought it was really good. It was really cheesy, but it was just, you obviously were. You didn't like it. Did you not like it?
No, I watched it every week. I was obviously I was a kid. I loved it. I think I've got one season of it, and the best episodes for me,
the first,
is when they thought he was an alien.
Oh, there's two. That was both season 4. It's season 4
Yeah,
you've got.
that's it. That's it.
And there's
Oh,
one
yeah.
where he ends up. They think it's an alien. Ends up sort of like they fly this thing over his head, and they sort of like they trap him in it, and then.
And then take him to
But
Nora.
he's also half. He's half back. He's half Hulk and half human.
It's that asteroid.
Because
it emits gamma radiation.
and because it's got gamma rays, it means that he doesn't quite go back to being human. I love that episode.
Yeah, it's my favourite episode. Really, that is what the Hulk should have been.
Well, actually, it's a tie between that episode and the episode The First, where we meet another Hulk.
The first.
Those two are the best episodes.
When the Hulk movie before he took over,
Yeah.
in the Avengers film.
Oh yeah.
Tim Roth, he did the first one. They used that scene, you know, when he sits in that gamma chair
Yeah.
with the target. They used that in the modern Hulk movie, which is quite a nice. And there's a bit of the music. It was just that music at the end, The Lonely Man, it was called.
Well, do you prefer the modern versions then to the classic 70s Hulk series?
I think that it's like, have you seen classic 70s Spider-Man?
No, I don't think I'd fancy it.
It's give it a look. It's so bad. It's just so terrible. I think Hulk is more. I think they were like Marvel were trying to get superheroes out at the time, but they didn't have the special effects really at that time.
Yeah. I mean, I watched it as a kid, so I mean, I remember my family used to joke to me because it was like that one time I was desperate to go to the toilet and I was waiting for him to change and waiting for him to change. And they only changed twice per episode. And then I eventually had to go to the toilet and they started shouting to me, he's changing. And it was just, they used to muck about with me when I was a kid kind of thing. It was, but I have very fond memories of it. And I think that Bill Bixby was such a good actor. That's what made the show. I mean,
It's great, it's Bill Bixby.
Bill Bixby was so good.
Magician.
And he was in My Favourite Martian as well, I think, with the other guy.
Was.
Yeah,
That's where he started. Then he was like this detective who were a magician.
that's it.
He lived on an aeroplane. All these detectives, they all live in these glamorous places, don't they, back then?
Oh, yeah, I know.
But, the Hulk's a classic. I'm not going to knock it.
I love it. You should do it. You should do one of yours. Should have been the classics for that series.
There's the rules to that.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, it's got to be cancelled by 3 seasons.
Oh, yeah, because I saw your one this week with regard to the what's that series? What was it called?
You mean that?
Oh, it was that old.
Gordon.
Yeah, that's it. It looked awful. It looked terrible.
Have you not seen it?
No.
I saw it. It went on site when before all internet we had Sky.
Yeah.
And internet were coming out. They made a real big push on sci-fi for it, Flash Gordon, and I watched it, and I sort of stuck with it. I don't know why, but
Right.
it's absolutely terrible. He lives at home with his mum.
Yeah, it just looked so cheesy. The acting looked so terrible. It just looked awful.
And then they all pop through like a slider thing from Mongo, and they're all going around his house, all these aliens, and he's like, his mother hasn't got a clue what's going on because they're looking for his dad. And the final 4 episodes are quite good,
Right.
Because the guy that plays Ming, he's like a corporate. He's like this corporate dude.
All right.
I mean, it is bad. I mean, the acting's awful, and they put a lot of money into this.
It didn't look like it. It looked like something that you'd get on sort of like teen TV kind of thing. It looked awful. It looked really bad. But like I said, I've not seen it. I mean, I remember as a kid watching the really, really old Flash Gordon.
Oh, classic.
And then I
Classic.
also remember the 70s Flash with the Queen track in it and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, that to me is Flash Gordon.
Yeah, I was going to say with Brian Blessed was in it, wasn't it? I think Brian Blessed was in it.
Oh, yes. Voltan's alive. Gordon's alive. That was it, wasn't it?
I know. I mean, it's funny. I mean, because, like I said, it's one of those series that... I mean, I've missed a lot of stuff. You're telling me about a lot of stuff I've not seen. And I consider myself quite a big sci-fi fan. So, you're teaching me stuff all the time. I mean, it's like...
Stuff I haven't seen. I never realised about.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you've got to see Future Man, which I think is quite good. That's all.
I know that's sick. I've got a list of programmes. I've got to get through Flash Season 4 yet.
And you've got to see Russian Doll as well, the Groundhog Day series, which I think was really good as well. And
I have a question.
yeah,
My dad, I remember, just go back to the Hulk for a second. My dad used to watch it.
Right.
How did his jeans stay on?
Tightly.
Right, okay.
And if you remember, the bottom of his jeans used to rip, but he used to be really, really squished up against his crutch.
Hey, it must have been.
And so, yeah, I mean, whether certain parts of his anatomy get smaller when he goes green,
Well, that's it.
that would explain why. Maybe that's why he was always so mad when he changed.
Yeah, poor fella.
I love it. I mean, how many shirts did that guy get through? And he was like, he rips a shirt and he would like go like a person's clothesline or something and get another shirt of the week. And I don't care. It was just. Did
you see the movies?
I wasn't that impressed with the movies. I saw the last one where he actually died. The Death of the Incredible Hulk.
He did fell
He
out
fell
of
off
the
a bloody
plane.
plane. And then had this sad music, and he was heading down to and he thought, okay. And then he crashed down, and then the girl of the week is there, and then he sort of said something like, "I'm free" or something. It was strange. I mean, in some ways it was good there was some resolution, but I wasn't. Something felt a bit off with the movies as well.
I did. The Thor one was absolutely, and the Daredevil one. I mean, yeah. They are funny to watch. But the final movie...
That was better. I thought that was actually...
on the runway.
Yeah, I know. And then he was actually like... He hit the ground so hard that the whole of the ground had sort of imploded. It was sort of like a great big crater. And then he sort of looks up and he says, I'm free or something. And it was like...
Why didn't it change?
What was that?
Why didn't he change?
Well, no, he changed back. He was the Hulk, though, wasn't he?
Was he?
Yeah, when he crashed to the ground, he was the Hulk.
Okay.
And then he changed back to a human, and then he said, I'm free, and then he died.
Oh, God, that's depressing. Thank you. You've ruined my Christmas.
That's the last show you're doing me. No, it's good. I liked it. I thought it was good.
Okay.
But, I mean, I saw another... this is more horror than sci-fi, but have you ever seen Black Christmas?
No, what's that?
No, it was a precursor to the Halloween films. It was like a slasher movie from 1974, apparently. I saw it the other day because somebody recommended it on Facebook, and it was alright. It was like I said, this is slightly out of sci-fi, but it's, you know, if you like Christmas in a slightly different way of doing things, then it's worth watching. But it's called Black Christmas. You might see it somewhere online, or it might be on one of the terrestrial channels at some point. But yeah, something, and it's got. Mark Kidler, the one who played Lois Lane in the Superman films? What's the name that played?
Yeah, Margaret Kidder.
Yeah. She was in it. So,
right.
Yeah, and also the guy that was in 2001, the guy who I can't remember his name. The one that actually went at the end into the dimension at the end of the film. The main character.
Oh, Gary Mitchell from Star Trek.
No, not the other one. Not Gary Mitchell.
No.
I can't remember. You know the one I mean? The one that was actually the one... Yeah.
Oh, Dave
Bowman. Yeah, so he was in it as well. So, yeah, check it out if you get the chance. Now, anything else in Christmas sci-fi that you can think of? Like I said, Doctor Who's done the major ones.
I remember Santa Claus Goes to Mars.
Now, you mentioned this. Tell me all about it.
Well, from what I remember, I've been looking for it, actually. It's I think the Martians kidnapped him, I think. It's black and white. It's British.
Oh, and British, right.
I think they're going to take over at Wales, and he stopped it.
Okay.
It was only 50s also. I don't know if it's Alien movie but it's British. It's really cheesy. But anyway, it brings Christmas to Mars anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I mean, how I always look at the same things at Christmas time. We already talked about Trading Places, which I'll watch this year, but
I'm watching that
I probably will watch a Christmas Doctor Who, but I don't know which one to watch. I think last year I watched the 2 End of Time episodes with David Tennant. I might, and I did see relatively recently the Twice Upon a Time last Capaldi episode, but I'm just trying to think of other episodes I'd like to see. I'm just looking through my list here. Voyage of the Damned was quite good. Runaway Bride's all right. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe A Christmas Carol. That might be a good one to watch. I don't know.
Yeah.
So if you had a choice, which one would you want to see this Christmas?
I'd like the one with the Cybermen, you know, and the critter. I forgot what the episode's called.
Oh.
David Tennant, where he makes the other Doctor. And
The next Doctor.
cyber-
The next Doctor.
Yeah, the next Doctor, and you've got that 400-foot cyber walker machine.
That's right, yeah.
And walking all over Victorian London, and nobody remembers it.
Yeah, but that happens so much in Doctor Who. I mean, people don't remember the Daleks, and they invaded it in the end of Tennant's era. So it's just one of those things which is annoying. It's like, what was it? There was a series where when you saw the aliens and then you didn't see them again, you'd forget. I can't remember what it was.
God! Yeah. Oh,
There was something
that
when you
that
forgot
was
it.
a terrible series of Doctor Who. That they were meant to be the big thing, and they were terrible.
But I know the ones you mean. The
I forgot what they're called now. Don't they electrocute you as well?
they're the ones which serves the silence. The silence.
No, yes, no, they disappeared. We forgot about them, didn't we?
But I know. But, yeah, well, literally, yeah, but that sounds apt, doesn't it? For given what they do.
Yeah.
But there was
But
not.
did they serve somebody?
Well, in the end, the silence came back at the end of David Tennant's, Matt Smith's era. But they were I can't remember, to do with the faction which were trying to erase the Doctor from time or something. I can't remember.
Was that the Pandorica season?
Oh no, the Pandorica was season 5, and I think Matt Smith left at the end of season 7. But the silence did return because Clara encountered them, and then she did the usual forgetting thing, and then that was the episode. It was the last episode. It was the Day of the Doctor. No, the Time of the Doctor. It was David Tennant's last episode.
I never really got into Matt Smith. I was on and off with him. I did like the Dorica stuff, but it was the writing was terrible for the episode. That's for me.
So out of perspective, which was your favourite Doctor in New Who in order? What was the best to the worst?
I'd say David Tennant, Peter Capaldi, and I'd go for Eccleston.
And then obviously it'd be Matt Smith, and it'd be the new Jodie Whittaker. I should think. Yeah, I would go with David Tennant first. Then I'd probably go. It would be very close between me and Matt Smith and Capaldi. I like them both. So I don't know. I'm stuck between those two. I like them both equally.
I always believed Eccleston should have done a second season.
Well, yeah, but he apparently was treated badly by the BBC, and he just thought he thought bollocks to this, and he left. You don't blame the guy. I mean, I like him. I mean, I think it was good because first of all, he had this northern thing, and he was kind of it was good. I mean, that's a problem. We all got to like him, and then he just disappeared. It was horrible.
No, I never really got into his character. I liked the Bad Wolf trilogy. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, it was good. And of course, he was. They asked him back for the 50th anniversary, but he did turn it down. But in the end, he gave a good season, and he brought Doctor Who back. And then David Tennant just then knocked the ball out of the park when he took over. So it was really good. So that's it, I think, for Christmas. Unless there's anything else Christmas-wise you can think of you want to talk about?
No, I think that's it. That's it. That's it, really.
Okay, well, that was a good one. So thank you for that. But that probably leads us then into our next topic, which is, of course, your topic. And this is going to be a hard one for discussion. It is, let's hit the jingle, and then we'll see.
Predator versus...
All right, so this is Alien versus... not Alien, I will say that. Predator, I said that last week. Predator versus Santa Claus.
Right, I don't know whether to set this scenario in.
Go for it.
Aliens versus Predator, the first film.
Okay.
It's Antarctica.
Yeah.
After one of the Predators falls out of the ship, when it clears off, after the alien merges, after all that big battle and all that, well, there's a Predator. One of the Predators survived the alien thing, and he got stuck out in Antarctica. Anyway, it's Christmas Eve. And he's running through the snow waste, and he comes across a house and loads of elves.
Oh, no.
Starts slaughtering all elves, it's stealth.
Right.
Then he notices Santa. He notices Rudolph, the reindeer, that he wants the red nose, and then that's
for a trophy. For a trophy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he massacres all poor elves and fairies and all magical stuff that live there. And Santa comes out, and Santa's logic. Predator's got all the standard weapons, but Santa can counteract every weapon he's got because he's got the infinite sack. He can pull anything out.
So what's he pulling out of his sack?
Well, that's
That's the worst thing I've ever asked, I think, on a podcast.
yeah.
That's a blue
So
joke. Go on.
there's a big fight, and Santa's a big dude, and there's a big fight, and anyway, Santa, he gets there's like a scene where he's like Arnie Commando. He goes out there because like predators start attacking Mrs. Santa Claus. And Santa goes out there and he kicks his ass and belly flops Predator all over ice and throws him on an ice stalagmite because Predator's weapons have all been counteracted.
Right.
Big punch up, and Santa's really drunk as well.
Can Santa just sit on him?
Well, he does, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, if he's heavy, he might be able to squish him.
Well, he does, and Predator's done. And then Santa sticks Predator's head on his fireplace. Now, if you can counteract that, I'm for it. But
Okay, so are we? Yeah. So So let's have a think about it. So the Predator's got no weapons. He's just got Santa, and Santa's getting everything from his sack, and he sits on his face, as you do.
Yeah.
And then he's dead.
Yeah, so do you think Predator would kill Santa Claus?
No, I think this week I have to say that I think that Santa would win. Sorry, Predator. Unless Predator somehow gets some of his weapons back. But then can Santa get stuff magical out of his sack? Some sort of special defensive shield? I mean, he can do anything.
Well, he could teleport. He seems to get down people's chimneys, even though they've got radiators.
Yeah, that's true. He's like a shapeshifter, isn't he? He's like a changeling.
I mean, if you went down to your front room at 2 o'clock at morning, saw a big dude in a red suit and a bin liner, you're going to freak out, aren't you? And then he vanishes.
Well, maybe Santa's a changeling from Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, it could be. He might be.
He could be. And after Christmas, he goes into his little bucket and he sort of sits there for another sort of like 11 months until he comes back again.
Yeah.
He's a changeling. He's a founder of the Dominion. There we go. So,
yeah, but how did he get around the planet so fast?
Well, maybe the Dominion have some special warp-powered sleigh?
Actually, he's got Icosian technology. Remember that?
Yes, the portals. I know.
Yes,
Iconians, not Icosian. Iconians, yes. Good recall.
Yeah.
And they appeared actually in DS9 as well as the Next Generation.
Yes, are we Santa Claus defeats
Predator? I think so, especially since it's Christmas. I mean, if Predator won on Christmas, then that just wouldn't be good, would it? Santa,
Yeah.
so Santa wins. Happy, congratulations to Santa. So there we go.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll have some interesting ideas for Santa, who he's going to face in 2020. Which, of course, just still sounds too far in the future to me. And, of course, every bloody episode of Terrorhawks, they say 2020 in it.
Oh, yeah, we're moving into
2020, yeah, so we're going to have Terrorhawks going into 2020 next.
I mean, it's been a bit disappointing, hasn't it? So, 1999, the moon's still here.
Yeah, I know.
No wonder we're no monolith on the moon.
No bloody hoverboards in 2015.
No, flying cars.
Yeah.
And we're going into Terrorhawk territory.
Yeah, God. And then it's only 4 years until the bell rights.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
God, we're bloody mad. Do people listen to us think we must be sounding like we're off our tree? We sound like bloody bonkers. Anyway, there you go. That's a bit of trivia for you, and well done for Predator having a good attempt at beating Christmas, or Father Christmas. Well, unfortunately, he is the loser this week.
Yes.
Right, on that note, I have got then this first compilation of the bloopers for 20. Well, this is our first one. I usually do these about once a month, so we'll see. We'll let them build up a bit because, of course, it takes a while to get the bloopers, but I love doing these. Are you ready to give these a listen?
I am ready and waiting, sir.
Okay, here we go.
Ready and waiting.
Enjoy.
How could I have been so completely wrong?
Solar One Sci-Fi Bloopers. This is the Solar One... oh, God, that's the first mistake already. Let's start again. This is the Solar One Sci-Fi Podcast because I'm almost like a Marvel virgin. Does that sound dodgy or what? I don't know what I should put that on the podcast.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to answer that question.
That's the hashtag for the podcast. Hashtag Marvel virgin.
Marvel virgin. I don't know what is going on now. Are you on? Oh, right. God. I just bloody laptop.
The last Colin Baker season, the Trial of a Time Lord. Trial of a Time Lord. Try saying that after a few sherbets. Another Skype fail.
Going on now.
There are different. There's two different versions of the actual same show. That's a blooper. Where we've got one this Friday, next Friday, and then I think the last one is the. Oh, hang on, you there? Lots of Skype problems in these bloopers.
Oh, bugger. I know. Just
sorry, everybody. We're just waiting for Martin to come back.
I know.
And he's disappeared. Okay, let's ring him back. Let's just try that again.
And it's that ringing music, okay? So funny when it kicks in.
I know it is. There you go. Right. Okay, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, yep.
That's fine. We'll have to do another countdown because I'm going to have to resync it together. So you ready?
That's right.
Sorry about this. Here we go. Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's try that again.
It's based on a comic story from the...
there goes my phone. Sorry, my American phone's ringing now, my landline. This is a blooper. On my podcast, I often have people ringing, so I'm making a bloopers compilation. This will actually be added, so it will stop ringing in a minute. Sorry, everybody. This is called a blooper. There we go. Sorry. Carry on what you're saying. There we go. So it's quite short, but quite funny.
That was very funny, that. It's that Skype ring that just makes it funny.
Yeah, and of course, and then you go into the bloody laptop. Yeah, it was funny. So I think we'll probably generate quite a few bloopers next year. And what I'll do is once it builds up to a certain length, then I'll probably release it with your permission, of course, on my YouTube channel. I think that'd be quite funny.
Put it on, and definitely.
Right, so I think to round off, shall we just quickly say what we're doing over Christmas? I mean, I'll just say for me, I'm just going to be with my family, having some good time off, just to relax, watching, of course, the new Star Wars, the new Doctor Who, the end of The Mandalorian, and it should be a good one. How about yourself?
I've got 2 weeks straight with nothing to do.
Brilliant, that sounds great. I think
going away over Christmas for a few days, and then I could just come back and do focus on what I want to do.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Well, I actually realised, just before you go, I realised how I got to know about you in the first place, and it was because of your review of Star Trek Continues. And and what happened was, after the series finished, I was blown away by it, and I just wanted to get people's reviews. And I typed in Star Trek Continues review, and you popped up. And that is how I got to know you. And it was interesting that I only realised that the other day, and I thought I'd just mention it to you. So that's how I...
Thank you very much.
Well, no, it was a good review, and I agreed entirely with what you said on that in that show.
I found with Star Trek Continues, it was an incredible experience. And watching... when they put the episodes up every couple of months, I just got so excited about it.
Yeah, it really was. It was like back to watching the original series when you were a kid. It was that good.
It brought something back, and when I reviewed the final 2-parter, I had a few of my friends phone me up straight after we'd watched it, and that scene when they moved into the film,
with the uniform,
and the bridge opened up the doors. And the bridge was all lit up. Well, the consoles were lit up, but it was dark.
That's right.
And just this outline. And he was just stood there. I was nearly in tears.
Yeah, it was really powerful. And it really is the unofficial connection between the original series and the original motion picture, which was excellent.
For me, it's the 5-year mission that finishes
it off.
It
was. It was actually given a conclusion, and it couldn't have been done better. So that was good to realise that. And I want to say thank you for joining me on the show. It's been great this year. We plan on doing plenty more this next year.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
I'm going to end, actually, because this has been a Christmas show. Obviously, you've heard the song "Let It Snow, Let It Snow." Have you ever heard the Captain Picard Christmas version of "Make It So, Make It So"?
Yes, I've seen it.
Well, it's going to be featured on the end of this show now. So I'd like to thank everyone who's checked out the show. Merry Christmas to you. We'll see you in 2020. And I'm going to say it this week before you do. Live long and prosper.
Yes, and Merry Christmas as well, and a Happy New Year.
And we'll catch you next year on the Solar One Sci-Fi podcast. Thank you very much.
And when are we going to be back?
We're going to be back on the... That's a good point, actually. We're going to be back, I think something like the 8th of Jan, 8th or 9th of Jan.
That'd be fantastic, yeah.
If that's right with you. Brilliant. Thank you, Martin. That'd be good.
All
Thank
right,
you.
Merry Christmas, my friend, and I'll see you on the 8th of January.
Okay, and catch you all later. Thank you, and enjoy the song. Cheers.
Yes.
Bye.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, make it so, make it so, make it so. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping. And I brought me some tea Earl Grey hot. The lights turned way down low. Make it so, make it so, make it so. When we finally kiss goodnight. How I hate going out in the storm. But if you...
Really?
Shut up, Wesley! All the way home, I'll be...
Warm. Oh, the fire is slowly dying. And my dear...
We're still goodbye, then. But
As long as you love me,
so,
make it so.
make it so. Make it so.